Yo, welcome back, YouTube family. We back in the building. It's your boy Jack, Crest Coast Tattoo. So, this is with another video, just breaking down some things for y'all. So, you see, I did use a stencil, but that's why it's good to know how to draw. Not even just for if your stencil wipe away, but if the stencil come out all, say for example, broken up. You see my T, I could easily straighten that up. Some of the curves don't fit the shoulder like I wanted it to, so I go in and draw those things on. That's the beauty of knowing how to draw, because if you don't really know how to draw, you can put a stencil on, but you can't make it fit the body. And that's another important part, making your tattoo fit the body. That's the whole purpose, because the body is not just a sheet of paper, it's not flat. So we got to go back in and make sure it fit the area that it's in. And that's why I agreed with this area for her, as long as she was okay with it not being like, close by the neck, even though it wasn't directly on the neck, but it's on the verge of it. It's right there, borderline. She said that was straight right there, but I did want this loop to kind of fit the ball of that shoulder, even though we couldn't get it to fit like on the top of the ball of the shoulder, because it would have definitely been on her neck, and she didn't want to sacrifice for the sizing. She said the size was good, so I just kind of drew that curve that was going to fit that shoulder clean. And y'all got to think about, all these different steps, that goes into creating a tattoo. It ain't just slapping a stencil down and tattooing it. It ain't just drawing a tattoo on, because I definitely did that earlier days, just drawing a tattoo on, just tattooing it. No, look at how it actually flows with the body. All that plays a difference. And your design as well. Practice your design skills. Like, more practice you do, the better you're gonna get. And with this tattoo, I definitely started out with the 1 round liner. This one I was just getting into trying to be like not perfect, but real, taking my time, like really setting a new standard. So I started out with a 1 round liner to try to get them lines thin as possible. And then after a while, because I know the bolder parts was going to definitely, I was going to switch to a 3 round liner. But them thin parts, 1 round liner is the way to go, because when you line it with a 3 round liner and then you try to do thick parts with a 3 round liner as well, it don't look as thin. I'll say that. So definitely start out with that 1 round liner. You could do blood lines, but I didn't really do blood lines. I don't think I did super solid black either. If it was solid black, I was just grazing upon the skin. And when I'm using a 1 round liner, I'm using it at like 5 volts, because I see I'm using the Ambition Ninja machine. So I'm using it at 5 volts because this machine is a heavy hitter. It's a 4-stroke machine. Because I do have the Mass Pro 402 as well, and that's a 4.2 stroke, and it don't hit as hard as this Ambition Ninja. And I still got to create a review on this Ninja, because I did a review a long time ago. The machine is a great machine, but I think early on they had a little defect, which they did send me the part, and all I had to do was change the cam out, and the machine been running strong since. Probably been having it about 3 years now. It could be more, but yeah, this is definitely a heavy hitter for those that's definitely into lining a lot. It done push some big needles, but most of the time I'm sticking at like 7 round liner most of the time. But because I wanted this thin, I definitely stuck with that 7, not the 7. I stuck with the 3 round liner and the 1 round liner. And this is where I came back with probably the 3 round line. You see how I'm bowling that line up, because I noticed it was probably too thin. So I probably came with a 3 round line on some of them parts, but some of them parts on there I definitely left as that 1 round liner, because I want them thin. And also, I want y'all to think about this, because this is something I definitely been thinking about. I ain't used to think about it early on, but now I do. I've did real 1 round liners, like small, tiny tattoos, and I think that's what got me in the mindset. But when they heal up, remember the ink going to spray under the skin a little bit. And I'm not talking about blowouts. I'm just talking about over the years, the ink will spread. So if something is going to be thin or look like it's close together, do not use a 7 round liner, because once it heals up, that 7 round liner will look like a 9 round liner, for example. It's going to spread. So keep that in mind when doing small tattoos, because you've seen a lot. I believe we all have seen people like that. It's like you got a tattoo, but now them letters, you can really hardly read them, because now they look like they're too close together or smash. For example, the letter O. A lot of people would do that small, but that O, the inside of an A, it will close up because it's so bold. So now you can't tell it's an A because it look like a blob. We don't want to make those mistakes, and that's a simple thing you can fix. Just go a size down, because I know a lot of people, they tend to rush the process, so they don't size down. they want to go with the bigger needle, try to get it all in one pass, but this is not a all in one pass thing. One time I tried the early career, thought that was the way to go, but no, multiple passes. Take your time, move slow, make sure it's done right. And like I was saying, I created a new standard. So for y'all new tattoo artists or even experienced tattoo artists that really just don't got y'all patience up there yet, just create a new standard that we will take our time. I believe this tattoo probably took 3 to 4 hours because I definitely made sure the lines was clean. I have any little defects. If I see a line that was off, I'm going back and touch it. And that's what I mean by creating that new standard, because I know early on I would outline it one time and I'm like, okay, that look good. No, let's outline it and let's dissect that line that we outlined. Let's see how it's looking. Even when I go back and shade in these inside of these letters, I still will look over it before I finish the tattoo. Now mind you, like I said, ain't no such thing as perfect, but I look over it in case we making any mistakes. But I try to go back and touch any little mistake that I see. And just that alone, approaching your tattoos with that mindset, that will make you a better artist over time. That means you'll make each tattoo better than the last. And that's the way you grow as an artist. Like I said, I know because I've been there. Because I know when I was doing the same things as a younger artist, I wasn't growing as fast. But if I was doing this from day one, I would be a 10 times better artist than I am today. So for those that's coming up, please do as I say, don't do as I do. Like I said, I've been there. I took the long route. I want y'all to grow a lot faster than I did. Because you know, I came up doing this on my own. So of course I didn't know no better. I thought 9-round liner was the only needle. That's how bad I was. But I want y'all to do a lot better than me. That's why I'm spreading this knowledge and hoping to helping y'all put this into works. Because you know, if you don't put it into works, it's useless. So for everybody that's still around and watching my videos that lasted this long, I definitely appreciate y'all. Y'all definitely the one that's gonna be going far. So definitely follow my advice. Don't just look at the videos. Learn from the videos, dissect the videos. That's how I try to learn, critiquing every tattoo that I do. And if y'all ever have any questions, don't hesitate, drop it in the comments below. This is all I got on this one because the internet cut out, so this was just a vibe. But thank y'all for watching the channel, appreciate it. See y'all in the next video.